today we're talking about adding more space to your closet. And I know what it's like to have a very small closet. This right here is my closet. So it's not very tall. As you can see, it's actually only half the closet because my husband gets the other half. On the floor is normally where our laundry bin goes. So space is extremely important for me in a closet. There are a few ways though that you can maximize the space in your closet quite easily. My favorite tip I will save for last, but there are three that I will be talking about today. The first one is simply remove any empty hangers that are in your closet because it just takes up space, and when it's time to do laundry, it's really hard to find your hangers within all of the different clothes. So it makes laundry day much harder. So as soon as you take a piece of clothing off of a hanger, have a space to store your hangers. I know for us that is right over here, and we just store them right on the outside with a hook. But there are a number of different ways that you can do this. You can create a pile within your closet. You can put a bin on the floor that you toss them in. It's completely up to you. Now, tip number 2 is to use bins so you can stack things higher. Now, what this means is when you have things like sweaters or any clothes that are stacked, it's really hard to have a tall stack and not knock it over every single time you go in there to get something, because it never fails. What you want is at the bottom of the stack. So normally you want to stack things only about 3 or 4 high. But if you're like me and you have all of this space in the closet that you need to be able to stack up into, and you don't want to add an extra shelf, I decided not to add an extra shelf because I do have some things on the side that I want extra high storage for. So adding a shelf to this area would actually reduce some of my storage that I have for some of the other items. So having the bins, that these actually have a see-through front on them so I can see what's inside. You can also, if you want to, take a picture of what's inside of the bin, and that way you can see everything that's inside if you need to. But those bins mean that I can stack a lot higher. So I have probably about 12 or so sweaters inside each stack of bins. So 6 and 6 approximately, which is a lot higher than I could easily do without making a mess in that type of space. So having bins saves so much space because you can stack things higher. These are great for things you don't use every day, especially. And I'm here in Florida, so sweaters are definitely not an everyday thing, even in the winter. And then my absolute favorite way to add more space in your closet is to add an extra shelf. Now this will work in any closet, not just clothing closets, but a lot of times when we have like a rental house or when you first buy a house, the first thing that they like to do is they give you one rod and one shelf. That's not helpful at all, right? So what you can do is up at the top, up at the top, there you go. You can add an extra shelf over the existing shelf to give yourself a lot more space, because way up at the top, this is a great place to put memorabilia, photo albums that you don't use every time. Right now I have some special clothes that I only use once in a great while, and I have a reminder about what's in there further down. And that's what you see, the picture here, just as a reminder that that's what's in my special clothes bin, so I can see it. But I have all of the just in case from my old job, in case I ever do any type of work like that again. I have costumes up in the corner. All of those things that I'm not using very often can go in that little tiny space at the very top, which makes it so handy because I don't use them often. It's a great place for guest items, all of that stuff. So it's super easy. Add an extra shelf at the top. Even if you're in a rental, a lot of times they won't mind because you just gave them extra space, and it's very inexpensive to find the wire shelves from your office or your home supply store. Now, if you are not able to add an extra shelf like that, you can also purchase just the standalone type of shoe shelves that just give you that extra, they're kind of like a U, an upside down U, and you can put them on top of your existing shelf. And that's going to give you a raised up area so you can put things on top of it. That's an option as well. So those are some of my favorite ways. And because you're still here with me, I'm going to give you a bonus. One of my other favorite things to do inside of my closet, and I do this in almost all of my closets, not just my clothing closet, but it's a hanging shoe organizer. But I don't put shoes in it. So over here at the side, let me scoot these over. So let me flip this around for you. Over here on the side of my closet, you can see I have an over-the-door shoe organizer, and this is just hanging on the side of the wall. Now this has my hair straightener that I actually use often for ribbons and collars. It has shoe insoles and stain remover and fabric fresheners and lint rollers and extra closet supplies and bags for my lingerie and delicates in the wash. And as I mentioned, this is just hung by nails on the side of the wall. So it's not taking up a whole lot of space. This is all the wasted space that you would have in your closet, that extra wall space. You're not really using it there. So that's a great way to use all of this extra space against the walls of your closet. You can hang them on the back side of your closet if you would like to. I do it in my cleaning closets, my office closet, my pantry, anywhere that I would like to add extra storage. I put a hanging shoe organizer with the clear pockets so I don't have to label them. You can see exactly what's inside. So there's your bonus, the little extra for sticking with me of my favorite ways to add more storage. First off, remove your hangers and find a separate space for them. It just makes life easier overall and saves space. Second, use bins if you need to stack things higher than about 3 or 4 high, so your stacks don't fall over and they're easy to access and you can stack higher. 3 is to add an extra shelf, whether it's actually installing a shelf or buying an extra shelf you can put on top of the existing one. That extra shelf is perfect for the things that you rarely use. And then your bonus, number 4, is that over-the-door shoe organizer. Hang it on one of the walls or all of the walls on the sides and front of your closet for all that extra storage. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you think and how you added storage to your closet. And also, if you want links to some of my favorite things, I will add a link to all of my favorite things store in the description. I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, you're going to do awesome, and I love you so much.